Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Team Secret versus Team Liquid, Game 2. We saw Team Liquid take the first game in a pretty back and forth showing. Wasn't like a complete dominance throughout the game, but it was super entertaining to watch. We'll see if they're able to close out the series 2-0 against Secret, which isn't the easiest job to do at all. But Secret, I'm sure they're definitely going to be pulling out their A game right now, going to try and bring themselves back into this. Don't want to go getting knocked out of the tournament in a 2-0 fashion. Especially seeing as how they've won the last 8 tournaments in a row with a 3-0 showing in the grand finals. So we'll see if they're able to bring it back, keep themselves alive in this tournament. Secret start off with a IO and Void Spirit ban. Just taking away that Void Spirit from Boxy was pretty damn obnoxious throughout that game. Just getting onto the back lines. So they're going to take that ability away from Team Liquid. Meanwhile, Liquid start off with a Drow and Magnus ban. Two massively favoured picks for the side of Secret. So we'll see what Liquid are going to start off with. Again, there's no Faceless Void banned, but as I saw in the, as I was saying in the previous series, is that these two teams don't really prioritise Faceless Void all that much, so we might just see it not get picked at all in this first phase again. Liquid have previously always like starting off with like a Phoenix and a Mars combo, but they sort of moved away from that into later portions of this tournament. They're going to start off with an Oracle again. It is their most picked support, second most picked after the Rubik. Although it's not like they've got like a dominant win percentage with it so far. They've grabbed it 5 times before, and they're currently 3-2. But they used it pretty well last time. Just kept Koifa alive so many times and just stopped Martu from actually bursting anyone down. The Secret are going to start off with a Lina as their first pick. So it's an early Lina, so it's most probably going to be in a more support role. But there is still always that potential to swap it round last minute and put it into the hands of Nisha for the mid lane. But more often than not, you do, for Secret, you tend to see it in Yapsor's hands. Liquid actually going to go with the second pick of the Spectre. Definitely a high contention hero throughout this tournament. But it is always one that does take longer to come online. So we might see Secret, if they're going to try and play relatively greedy as well, and maybe try and take this game into longer portions, or if they're going to go for a more early game lineup. They're actually just going to grab the Lifestealer again. So it worked pretty well for the early to mid game for Secret in the previous match, but it just sort of fell off once the PA managed to just blow him up with a few crits and the Oracle keeping Mickey alive long enough. So we'll see if a similar sort of scenario is going to play out this game. But most likely we'll probably see as soon as Martu, well, I'm sure it's going to be Martu on the Lifestealer. As soon as he gets that armlet online, he'll probably start getting involved in the map and maybe see Secret trying to snowball away with it again. Liquid actually, they ban out the Beastmaster, so perhaps they want to try and line up for another Enigma grab in the next series. Taking away the Viper as you do when you got a Spectre. Just want to make sure that dispersion never gets broken away. But Secret actually go for the Slardar ban. It has been a very successful pick so far for Team Liquid throughout this tournament. So it looks like a lot of their bans from Secret are aimed towards Boxy. Just want to make sure that the offlaner isn't too powerful going up against the Lifestealer. They'll actually just ban away the Enigma again, realising it did quite a bit of work in the previous series, despite the fact that Tiger got shut down so many times. I think by about 15 minutes in, he was 0-5. So he had a pretty rough game, but despite that, he got a super early Blink Dagger online. Third is making sure that they're not going to have that super powerful team fight ability again. And the Seeker actually banned out the Death Prophet as well. Taking that hero away from Koifa, just can be quite menacing in team fights with the Exorcism going around. Does quite a bit of damage. Even just pierces the magic community of the Lifestealer. And Secret's actually going to go for an Undying. It's looking like so far it'll probably be a Puppy Undying. But we have saw it in one of the series yesterday that Undying went into the hands of Yapsaw instead. And he managed to do quite a good bit of work with the early levels and money. So we'll see if maybe they're going to try for that sort of play again. Liquid actually, they just grabbed the Timber Saw. So it's another relatively good laner against the Lifestealer, but I mean, as soon as he hits the Lifestealer with the stat drain from the Whirling Death, Marty will still be able to just use his rage and then purge that off and start laying into him. Especially if it, I mean, we could still see Alina as the position 5 on Puppy, so it would be still a little bit of damage coming through to Boxy. Well, I'm assuming it'd be Boxy on the Timber. I think they have put it in the mid lane before, but it all depends on whatever Secret do end up picking up for their own mid laner. So maybe Secret thereafter. It'll either be a Zai hero or a Nisha hero. Yeah, they'll grab the Bloodseeker, so that'll be in the hands of Zai and the offlaner. So they're still going to be after Nisha's pickup. But so far on the Team Secret, Lifestealer and the Bloodseeker, they're heroes that come online pretty early, so we're going to see them applying a fair amount of pressure in the early to mid portions of this game. Want to try and put enough pressure onto the Spectre to stop her from getting too big before it's too late. So see if they're able to do that. They might pick up a similar sort of tempo hero in the hands of Nisha. Perhaps maybe like an Invoker could be quite good. Hero doesn't take too much before he actually comes online. I was thinking Storm Spirit for Nisha, but they could actually grab Storm Spirit themselves. I mean, on the side of Secret, they are lacking lockdown. There's the LSA from the Lina, but apart from that, there's not a single stun on the side of Secret so far. But if Storm Spirit ever gets ruptured, it's going to be pretty painful for him to try and zip away. So that itself could keep him locked down in position. Even the rupture on the Timber Saw as well, every time he tries to go for a chain away, it will just end up doing so much damage to himself. So far this Bloodseeker has got a couple of good targets for his ultimates already. So it's looking like Liquid still after a support, probably position 4 support. Because you don't really tend to see a Storm or a Timber moved into the support role. Let's see what they are actually going to pick up. Yeah, secret ban out the Rubik. They could probably see a Dark Willow perhaps coming out for Liquid. It has been a pick that they do tend to favour in the past. They've actually only picked it up once so far this tournament, which is quite surprising, seeing as how Tiger just loves playing this hero, and he's pretty damn good on it too. We'll see what they're going to do with this Timbersaw, whether if they might want to just leave it in the off lane on his own, and then maybe try and run a defensive tri lane down bottom, maybe. Yeah, it's quite difficult. I was thinking something like a Phoenix, but Team Liquid don't really have any way to protect a Phoenix egg. Especially seems there's already a Lina on the side of Secret as well, so probably wouldn't be the best pickup. Could maybe see an Earth Spirit. Try to get the silence onto Martu before he can actually purge it off. But even still, they'll have the silence coming out from Koifa on the Storm Spirits. We'll still probably see him go for a Norkid Malevolence pickup. A secret, they actually ban out the Earth Spirit, so they're going to stop that from coming in. And they're going to go for an Earthshaker. So that'll be their position 4 for the Tiger. Actually gives them a proper team fight ability now. But he has got to be a little bit careful that he's not just got getting a load of zombies chasing after him, going to be cancelling out his blink daggers throughout this game. Will make it pretty difficult for him to try and make any moves onto the side of Secret. So still Nisha's hero to pick. Yeah, he wants someone to match the tempo of the rest of his team. Someone who comes online quite at an early portion. Maybe something like a Queen of Pain, or even a Morphlin perhaps. There's 2 heroes that come online a decent amount and they'll do a lot of damage. I'm actually going to go for the Ember. Again, another hero that comes online at a decent time. Able to apply a lot of pressure throughout the map as soon as he gets his 6. Plus gives him the Searing Chains as well, just a way to lock down Koifa before he can get his zip off and run away. So we'll probably see a few Yule Scepters coming out for the side of Secret to purge off the inevitable Orchid that's going to be coming out from Koifa this game. So probably see a Yule's on Nisha and Zai. Martu may even be forced to get something like a Manta style. Because if he ever gets caught out by silence and there's no way to purge off, he could just get a follow-up stun from Tiger, and then Mickey just laying into him with Boxy's chakra on top. It will be pretty painful for him. Damn, that's one ugly face. So it doesn't look like Liquid's going to try any sort of tri-lane in their defensive side. It's Going to send Tiger down bottom with Boxy. Saying you'll be here as well to secure up the bottom bounties. So I think if Koifa has a decent enough time in the mid lane, he should be able to put enough pressure on this map and make enough space for Mickey to become that big late game end boss. So we'll see if Secret's able to use the tempo that comes out from these early game heroes, the Bloodseeker, the Ember Spirit, even the Lifestealer once he gets the armlet online. But they have sort of swapped their lanes around. Looks like Martu's going to be on the off lane. Wants to lane up against Mickey and Insania. Definitely trying to avoid the Timbersaw. And Liquid will actually spoil that it is Zai down here, so they're going to realise that it's not going to be Martu or Puppy. But Secret actually able to get themselves 3 bounty runes. So just a small little gold bonus at the start. Puppy placing quite an aggressive ward just so he can put a little bit of vision on the bottom rune. Those bone blades in that back are super old set as well. Damn. Ancient skins. So this is the benefit of having a Bloodseeker. Generally you don't harass anyone out by auto attacks. It's all just your blood right making it impossible for them to get too close. So this will stop Boxy from getting easy reactive armor stacks. So in the lane up top, Martu should have a slight advantage. The dispersion obviously not coming online really that well at the early portions of the game, but the feast definitely will be doing a lot of work against Mickey Spectre. So we'll probably see Martu get a slight farm lead, especially as he starts getting a couple of levels. So we'll see if Insania is able to. Well, there's not much really a solo Oracle can do to secure a lane, especially when the support opposite him is Alina. Yep, sure, to definitely be able to beat him on the harassing war. We're on the mid lane. Nisha and Koifa. Pretty even so far. Mind you, Koifa's still got another wave coming in. So he's going to actually be slightly ahead on both last hits and denies. See if he's able to keep it up, especially now he's level 3, so he's going to have that. He's actually just gone for a 1-1-1 build so far. But with the Fire Guard, absorbs a lot of the magic damage that does come out from the Ember Spirit, so there's not much that Koifa's going to be able to do to harass Nisha out of this lane, but he'll definitely do a good job on the last hit. Meanwhile, down bottom, Boxy and Tiger make a move onto Puppy. Bloodright's a little off position, so doesn't actually connect onto anyone. I mean, normally Undying would have an absolute field day up against 2 melee strength heroes. It's a pretty nice lineup for to go up against an Undying. But he has actually run out of regen already, so we'll slowly start to see him lose his effectiveness. Meanwhile, mid lane, Tiger, he's got the invis activated, so looks like he maybe wants to try and make a rotation on Tanisha. He is dropping a little bit low. Only got 1 bottle charge left. Tiger, you moving in. The stun does connect. Koifa pulls him back in. The overload now online. Another special, another static remnant, but the static remnant is too far away, so it won't actually connect. Secret will actually force the TP2, both their supports in here to try and help, but Liquid's already fallen back, so it's a little bit of a wasted rotation there. So nice moves from Liquid. Sure, they don't get the kill on Tanisha, but both the supports of Secret are now out of position. So it's going to make the side lanes a little bit easier for Mickey and Boxy. So there's not a huge amount of kill threat across the map in the early portions of the game. The Bloodseeker Timber lineup, that's pretty much going to be quite static. Seems how both supports as well just started rotating around the map. Do you see Koifa with already an early XP advantage? Probably see Nisha. He's holding his 5th point. He's probably either thinking about putting it into Flame Guard or his Searing Chains. He's just going to hold on to it for now. Doesn't quite have to make a decision just yet. Well, down bottom, Koifa's come around to try and get the Bounty Rune. He will successfully get it with the Electric Vortex, holding Puppey in place. Even the nice Fisher comes out from Tiger, trying to hold him in spot. One more hit. Koifa does actually get the first blood onto Puppey. It's a nice little movement there. Manages to get the Bounty Rune, gets the first blood. So Koifa's game, definitely he's got a good start now. So Zai actually getting the hit down to Zai's courier. Meanwhile, Tiger, he's rotated around, blocks the escape from Zai off, but not enough damage to actually hold him there. Zai's also now 6 as well, maybe thinking about making a move onto Boxy. But there is a huge creep wave here as well. Boxy doesn't even care about getting hit by the blood right. 18 reactive armor stacks. He's just going to heal back up pretty damn quickly. Even just trying to apply a lot of pressure onto Puppey here. Finally the rupture comes out from Zai. But Boxy doesn't even care. He's still just running. Then I put down the right. Tons of damage comes through, especially with the Soul Rip. They tried to calm him down in one quick move. It looks like Boxy will eventually drop. He's still surviving. The reactive armor is doing so much work. Zai just can't do enough damage. We put down another blood right to force him back. Nisha actually rotates around and gets the kill onto Tiger, but Boxy's actually able to survive. Reactive armor, man, it's too goddamn broken. Just 18 permanent HP regen and 18 armor as well. So damn tanky. Koifa queued up for the Orchid straight away. Not even going to bother trying to finish off his boots, doesn't really need it. Just wants to get that Orchid online as soon as possible to start making moves on Matu. He is going to be the key target. Just want to stall out the game as much as possible and give Mickey a little bit of space to farm his way into it. But he's still pretty even on CS against Matu, despite the fact that Matu has 11 more denies, so he's probably got a slight XP lead. Actually, Mickey has an XP lead over top of him, which is quite surprising. So Nisha just going for the first item of the Spirit Vessel. Need to find a good way to stop just the sheer amount of HP regen that comes out from this Timber Saw early on. But the ward, in a nice placement there, spots his rotation. Even just going to go back to the mid lane, maybe try and make a move onto Tiger. He's just going to screw up his own farm actually. Well, down bottom, Koifa's rotated around here. So is Insania, so maybe they want to try and make a move on to Zai. But there is Yapsor and Puppey, ready and waiting. They will now realise that Yapsor's here as well. Koifa, I think he was thinking about diving forwards there, changed his mind. He's actually just going to keep going towards the creep wave. LSA might get an easy connect. Ooh, a little bit there of mistimings there between the two. The Blood Right coming out too soon forces Koifa back. He's even able to just do a lot of damage onto Puppey. Well, the rest of the Team Liquid comes in, jumps straight on top of him, and Puppey's just gone. Blood Right's there. We'll actually connect onto Boxy. He does a lot of damage, but Mickey Spectral Haunts in, so he's getting involved. Nisha's rotated around himself, seeing if they can find something else on the back line. Yapsaw will just fall from the Chakra coming out from Boxy. Finally, they'll get killed, but it's only onto Insania. Nisha just keeps charging forward. They're after that big kill of Koifa, but even Tiger's here. They get the Fisher stun. Nisha drops. The Blood Right connects onto Boxy, but it's not enough to actually bring anyone down. Puppey has respawned. He'll come in, but it's already a favourable trade for the side of Liquid. They get the mid lane and the position 4, and they only lose Insania for it. So definitely nice little rotations there. Even the fact that Mickey gets involved, just padding out his farm a little bit. Oh, nice use of the GG branch there by Boxy. Actually manages to get onto the other side of Martu and steals the bounty rune away. Cute little play there. I don't think Martu was expecting that at all. Still, Martu's got the armlet available in 100 gold. He's just trading hits at the moment with Boxy. Neither of them are really taking any damage at all. Especially through the 28 armor from Boxy at the moment. Just 0 damage from Martu. Literally doing nothing at all. Koifa, he's definitely having a little bit of a rougher time down bottom trying to farm up against Zai. Especially with Puppey in the backlines as well. Ready to pounce. Here you are, Marty. He's getting a little bit low and Koifa's ready and waiting. He's not got the Orchid actually available yet, so they don't have a way to proper lock him down. Especially now the armlet's actually available for Martu. He's able to trade. Actually, Boxy's just going to straight up leave the lane. He's going in the mid lane, thinking they're trying to get a move on to Nisha. No one really trying to overcommit at the moment. Both teams just poking and prodding. It will actually be Team Secret to fall back. Nisha super close to his Spirit Vessel now. We're only about 800 gold away. It'll definitely be easier finding kills onto Boxy as soon as that is up and ready. Oh, Puppey. Looks like he's trying to secure the top rune, but he's ended up getting turned on. But he's going to turn around. The Ruptures onto Boxy. Takes loads of damage from that Timber Chains there. Insanely comes out trying to heal him up a little bit. But it's not enough to actually pressure me. Meanwhile, Koifa, now with the Orchid finished up, zips straight in there, gets back on the loads of Special Horn comes as well, so Mikkei's even getting involved. Yapsaw is the first one to fall, and the rest of Liquid will fall back. Meanwhile, Martu's now getting involved. Open wounds onto Mikkei. The Purge comes out from Insanely though, so he's able just to walk it off. So far, pretty good engagement here from the side of Liquid. They get a kill onto Yapsaw, and everyone commits, but he is the only one to actually fall in the end. Oh, meanwhile, looks like they've actually found Nisha. Not enough to lock him down though, he just gets the Remnant into the river, and he will survive. And then everyone just goes straight back to farming. Everyone on the side of Secret really want to try and get their next items online. Mechanism queued up for Zai, only about 800 gold away from that. Spirit Vessel, 300 gold away, getting pretty close. Yapsaw and Puppey poking at Boxy, but he does not care at all. Just way too big at this point. And unfortunately, even with the pretty decent timing that Martu had on this armlet, they've decided secret they've not managed to get anything out of this. Go on the mid. Boxy's moved forward on Puppy, doing a lot of damage. They will actually commit the rupture now onto him. He's just going to start running backwards. There's nothing else on the side of secret though to keep the pressure going. And he's able just to walk it off. Ping out from Tiger, he knows Martu's around here. But there's no one else from Liquid anywhere nearby to try and make anything happen. Oh, he steps a little bit too close to the sentry ward, and that's just a free kill for Martu. There's nothing Tiger could do in that situation. A little bit unfortunate for him. Just steps the wrong way. They're starting onto Boxy. Koiva's going to zip in there. Gets the silent on Tanisha. There's no way for him to purge this off. Taking loads of damage, and the final hit from Koiva there finishes him off. Martu's now getting involved. They're trying to beat down into Boxy, but he's still just so damn tanky. They will get the finish onto tower. Walking forward, even a nice Fisher there. Connect onto two of them. Jumping forward to Martu. He's just going to turn around the rage. Rupture's now on Koiva. They've overextended a little bit here. Oh, the Laguna Blade comes out, but just in time with the false promise. It looks like he's probably still going to pop from this. Nice Echo Slam comes out. Connect onto Zai and Martu. They both actually vanish from this. Koiva does drop in the background, but it doesn't really matter. Liquid done so much damage to the rest of Secret. Puppy will fall as well. Boxy just still pushing forward. Looks like he will manage to finish off Yapsaw. He will drop. Meanwhile, Nisha trying to get something else with this fight, and he manages to pick up Insana in the background. So it ends up actually being a 3-for-4 favouring the side of Liquid. Actually, it was a 5-for-4, sorry. Nisha dropped down on super early portions of that. 5-for-3. My maths, it's all over the place. But that was pretty good engagement for the side of Liquid. Despite the fact that it feels like Secret definitely have the better early mid-game lineup, just Liquid managing to take that engagement really well, and they come out on top. It's just the fact that there's... I was really surprised that Nisha decided to go for the Spirit Vessel as his first item. I was sure he would have just gone for that Yule Scepter, knowing that the Koifa would definitely be building into an Orchid Malevolence. I mean, Zai's going for the Guiding Grooves instead, so that's going to be his way to purge it off if ever he gets hit by it. Is Martu going to be building a Manta Star perhaps? He is going for the Desolator. He's only 300 gold away from it actually, so he's going to have that online pretty soon. Zai just making a move onto Tiger alone up top, but there's no way for him to actually cancel this TP, so he'll get away. Big zip in from Koifa, does actually connect onto Zai, followed up. Enough damage from Insania there to help out as well, and he will fall. Meanwhile, the rest of Secret rotated round. They'd actually just find Insania, and Koifa manages to step the right way, and he gets away. He doesn't have a TP online for 20 seconds, but fortunately enough for him, Secret just assume he's already gone, and he will actually survive. The Desolator complete up for Martu, just on its way on the Courier. Meanwhile, the rest of Secret, they're going to make a move onto Boxy, realising that Koifa's nowhere nearby. But a nice Fisher there from Tiger, stalls it all out and gives Boxy enough time just to get the Timber Chains away. Meanwhile, Mickey's got plenty of space on the other side of the map, happily farming away. Still about 1400 gold away from finishing up his Manta Style. Boxy is still yet to fall in this game. Currently 4-0-4. He's just such a brick wall for the side of Liquid at the moment. It's really hard for Secret to try and engage through him. Well, it looks like they're making a move onto the illusion of Puppy, thinking it was real. Unfortunately enough for them, it was not. Well, Boxy, he's caught up in the rest of the Secret, quite far away from the rest of the team, but he's so tanky, he just gets to push forward, and a lot of damage to the Apps already. LSA will connect, jump forward from Koifa, hits onto Yapsaw there with the thing, he just drops down anyway. Martu, try and turn around. The rest of Liquid, they're able just to bail though. Boxy gets caught by the sacrificial right, but again, Nisha's jumping forwards. Infested up from Matu as well. They're going to jump out. Insane it does drop. Not before he puts the false promise onto Boxy though, so he's able to stand his ground. Boxy and Koi for managed to find the returning kill onto Yapsor. Again, Nisha just gets hit by the Orchid. Big jump from Tiger! Massive Echo Slam onto the entirety of Team Secret. Unfortunately, it's not enough damage to actually bring them all down, but it is enough to finish off Nisha. He will pay for that with his life, and he will fall himself. But it's just Zai trying to get forward onto Boxy, but he's able to escape. So it ends up being a 3-for-3, but it was actually a dieback from Nisha. So he's gone for a really long time now. Definitely going to affect his game hugely. So it's mainly just Matumba Man at the top of the net worth chart, but he's surrounded by a sea of red. See that Matu's not actually worried at all about the Orchid coming out from Koifura. So he's not building any sort of way to purge it off at the moment. But it seems like Koifura's just heavily investing his time on Nisha, sorry. He's having a pretty rough time trying to survive throughout these fights. He's still about 1,600 gold away from actually finishing up his Yule Scepter. But Matu finds the bottom bounty, so it will be a 3-for-1 trade, favouring Secret there. So they'll take that. Any small little advantage they can get. Good lord, that's a lot of map drawing. Matu actually with the clumsy net as well, just an extra means for the Lifestealer to get on top of someone, lock them down in place, because you can always just purge off the net once he activates his rage. So that's a nice little item for Lifestealers to have. Nisha really desperate for this Yule Scepter now. He's just such an easy target in all these fights until he has it. He's heading towards bottom and he'll run into Mickey. Not going to actually sort of contest anything. Even though Mickey's 3 levels on top of Nisha, he's been having a relatively free time this game. She doesn't even care that Misha's here anymore. He knows he can just stand his ground. Here we get to deny. Sad there for Nisha. Looks like maybe Koifer and Tiger thinking about making a move on to Matu. Especially with the Orchid and jump forward. They will now silence up Matu, jumping forward. Immediate TP reaction coming out from Secret, but I don't know if they're about to get her in time. It's too late. Matu just gone. Even Zai ends up getting caught out of it. Puppy even drops super low straight away. It was absolute disaster for Secret. All 3 of them just drop in seconds. Just way too much damage coming out from the side of Liquid. And this is where, when I was saying that there's no way for Matu to purge off this silence. He's such an easy target. There's no way for him to actually survive that combo. So we might see him rethink his build now. I really think he needs some way to purge it off, but he's still showing he doesn't really care about it. Queuing up for the Basher, but this is a free Roshan for Liquid now. Aegis in the hands of Mickey. And he's already got the net worth lever over the top of Matu. So I think that the longer this game goes on, it's actually just going to get more difficult for the side of Secret. And then Koifer and Tiger, they immediately jumping forward. They find the grab onto Nisha. They're keeping him stun locked, and there's nothing he could do either. Again, there's still no way for him to purge off this silence. Actually, his Yule Scepter was actually coming out in the courier just then. That's so unfortunate. But he does have it for the next time now, so he shouldn't be able to get caught out in those sort of situations again. But even still, this is just Liquid just getting further and further in the lead. I think Secret, they were sort of banking on the fact that they could get a lot of early game pressure on the go and start snowballing with this game, but it's quite difficult to try and play behind with this sort of lineup. Lotus Orb finished up for Boxy as well. Just going to make it even more difficult for the side of Secret to focus anyone down. They're all grouped up around him. But there is the rest of Liquid nearby. 3 of them smoked up. Looks like they're actually just... They want to go straight up top, try and get another pick off onto Matu. He's just going to rage TP out though. Realising that something fishy was going on. So Liquid won't actually find anything out of this rotation. Hey. Secret, they do spot out Boxy, but they're still just unsure about where the rest of Liquid are, so they're not going to try and make any moves onto him. Looks like they will now make him Boxy diving in straight forward. He's going to get hit by the rupture. There's no one else inside Liquid. They are going to try and rotate around, give him a little bit of helping hand. He actually gets out of the way of the Blood Right though. So unfortunately for Secret there, they expend a lot of their resources and they don't get anything out of this. They're just going to return around, start making their moves onto Puppey, and he's just going to end up falling. Instantly going to bite back, making thinking the rest of Secret still want to try and make something happen. Nisha going straight in first, making his moves onto Insania. Special Haunt comes out. Nisha will just heal himself up, get rid of the silence, but he's ended up just getting locked down anyway, taking a lot of damage. Will manage to get a slight fist off just in time. He manages to remnant out of there. Just a lot of trading the spells at the moment. Mickey laying a lot of damage into Matu. He's trying to walk this off. Jump forward again from Boxy. Matu's still only barely alive. Good bit of armlet top lane. Finally manages to pop the rage. He's going to turn around to Tiger. He's jump forward. Take a bit of damage. He's going to try and lifesteal this up. He will essentially fall down from Boxy. Godlike now as well. Going to move straight onto Puppey as well. And that's just a dieback. Oh, this is not looking good for Secret at all. And they just call it. They actually just call GG. They just tap out. What? Oh my days. They had all of their tier 2 still left standing. And they just call it. Oh my. I am speechless. I am speechless. That is shocking. What happened there? I think there must have just been some communication errors from the side of Secret. I don't think they were really playing their top form at the moment. Unbelievable. I think Liquid are going to be over the moon with that. They actually just 2-0 Secret and knock them out of the tournaments in the lower bracket stages already. Whew, I don't think anyone was expecting that. That's ridiculous. But well, GG to Team Liquid though. They show up. They absolutely dominate those 2 games, and I think they just tilted Secret to beyond the point where they even wanted to try and come back into that game, and they just tap out. They're just gone.